In today's YouTube video, we're going over the top 5 meta loadouts y'all need to be running. If you guys enjoy this one, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and let's hop into it. All right, so our first gun we're taking a look at here today is going to be the Ram 7. This is my literal zero recoil build for this gun. Super incredible gun, and it's one of my favorite personal ones to run right now. So our first attachment here is the cautious brake compensator. So this can help us out with that horizontal recoil and firing aiming stability. This gun likes to wiggle around a little bit, so really gonna stabilize it out with that. And I'm telling you guys right now, this thing is incredibly easy to be able to use. It's got no recoil. It feels kind of weird when you're firing it because you're expecting it to kick and it really doesn't. Next up, we're gonna go up in here, throw on the Cronin Headwind long barrel. So this is basically the best barrel we can run for this gun. Increase our bullet velocity and range quite substantially, and increases our aiming idle sway and our firing aiming stability. Here, I'll show you guys this real quick. You get into the effective stats, or like pretty much the detailed stats. You can see the bullet velocity. This is at 978 meters per second, which is incredibly fast in terms of your bullet velocity. So your shots are going to be registering very, very quickly because everything is a projectile here, of course, in Warzone. Now we're gonna go down. We're gonna throw on the Bruin Heavy support grip, which is real solid. This is gonna really stabilize the gun out for that gun kit control, aim idle sway, horizontal recoil, and of course firing aim stability. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Absolutely love it. This is one of those grips we run on so many of our different builds. Now we're gonna go down here and throw on the 60-round drum. So the 60-round drum is what I'd recommend for basically anyone. It doesn't matter if you're playing solos, duos, trios, quads, whatever it may be, always go for the 60. This is your primary assault rifle, so you always want to have that 60 on there. It just makes sense. Don't ever go for the 40. It's not going to work out in your favor. I would always go for the 60. And lastly, because we're utilizing the iron sights and it's going to be so fun to be able to use, we have the HVS 3.4 pad. So this is once again going to help us out that gun kit control, and this is just overall an absolute banger attachment to run on this gun. So let's show you guys here my full build. This is what I got for you. Definitely try this one out. Incredible build. All right, next up, we're taking a look at a gun that pretty much everybody and their mom likes to use, which is the WSP Swarm. This is pretty much the best SMG in the game right now, and this is my personalized, like, really solid build that I absolutely love to use. So the first attachment on here is the WSP Optic Long Barrel. So this is gonna help us out with that recoil control and gun kit control. It's gonna slow us down here a little bit, but this gun does have a little bit of that recoil. I mean, it actually has a little bit more than a little. It's actually quite substantial. So we're really trying to stabilize it out. And this is a fantastic sort of combination I got here to help you guys get a really great build for it. So that's what we got on there as our first attachment. Now we're gonna go down and throw on the 100-round drum. So this right here, if you guys are playing trios and quads, throw the 100-round drum on, because you're gonna be able to take out full squads with a singular magazine, which is actually pretty crazy. If you're playing something like duos or solos, for a little bit more mobility, throw on the 50 and you're going to be all right with that. But for trios, quads, definitely a 100-round drum is the way to go. You guys will thank me later if you're only run that 50. Go throw on the 100. You'll be quite surprised when you take out a few people how much ammo you have left in the magazine. It's actually pretty wild. Now we're gonna go on back here and throw on the Marauder grip. So this is gonna help us out with that recoil control, just gun and kit control, firing aim stability, and recoil control. All great things here. Stabilize the gun out, which is something we desperately need on this gun in particular. Now we're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on my optic of choice. I personally, I mean, the iron sights, I've used them plenty, but I prefer to use a optic on my WSP Swarm. I just think it is so much better than running the iron sights. I feel like I can just really acquire my targets that much better, and it makes me win a lot more gunfights. So for me personally, this works out great. But otherwise, if you don't want to run this, you can switch it out for another attachment like a laser, maybe an ammunition type or something like that, or even throw in a silencer or something on the end of a gun. But I think you actually have to switch out the barrel. So just kind of keep that in mind, that this is just, you know, a really solid attachment, and you can run this. You can run like the MK3 reflector, totally up to you. I just like the Night Arm model 2023. And lastly, we're throwing the FSS Fortress Heavy Stock, and this is going to stabilize the gun out here once again, just a little bit more. Overall, I would like to run some of these other ones, but they just don't do near as much. I've done extensive testing personally, and I just don't really like it no matter how I kind of configure the gun to be. So I always just kind of opt back for this, and this is just definitely the best way to go. So that's my full build there for the WSP Swarm. Try this one out. Next up, we're taking a look here at the Polmayat, basically the PKM, however you want to pronounce this gun. This gun is insanely good, and you have to build it a specific way in order to be insanely good. So we're going to start off here down in the aftermarket parts section for this, because we need the Jack Annihilator Bullpup kit. And that's how this gun has great mobility and everything, and it actually still hits incredibly hard. I mean, you can see the fire rates increase tremendously, your mobility and handling, all that stuff. This makes this gun pretty much like a hybrid assault rifle, you know, an LMG form with a 100-round magazine. It's insane. So you guys have to run this to make this gun really, really good. After that, we're gonna go up in here. We're gonna throw on the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor. This is kind of like our suppressor of choice when we're running an assault rifle, an LMG, something like that. If we have the option for it, this is kind of like our go-to for a lot of those guns. So we kind of run this as a blanket attachment that just works great for everything. So definitely recommend that. Next, when you go up in here, we're throwing the Jack Annihilator long barrel. So like I said, in order to make this gun very good, we have to run the Jack Annihilator kit, and this is the selection it gives us here, which is this long barrel, which increased our bullet velocity and range, which we would have lost a little bit by putting on the Annihilator kit anyways. So this really helps kind of mitigate that and stabilize out, just make it so much better. And now we're gonna go up in here to the optics section. I'm gonna throw on the Corio Eagle Eye 2.5 times. This is one of those guns where I feel like the 2.5x works fantastic. You could go for something like an SE Recharge or like an AMOT V4 or something like that, but I just believe the Corio 2.5 is just the sight to go for when you're making this gun be super effective. I don't really feel like I need to switch it out for something like the Bass B. I've tried the Corio Eagle Eye and I switched that out for like the SE Recharge. Some of the other assault rifles, I don't go for it, but for this gun in particular, definitely recommend it. And lastly, we're gonna go throw on the Commando D15 recoil reduction pad, which is just gonna help make this an absolute laser beam. And you guys are gonna have no issues at all hitting your shots at those medium to longer ranges. Maybe at super long range because it does have a little bit of kick, but you're gonna be perfectly fine for taking out plenty of people here. I mean, it's got 100 rounds in the mag. You run this with like, you know, the WSB Swarm. You got 100 rounds in your primary and your secondary. You should not be losing no gunfights unless you just get full Warzone, which, you know, happens kind of frequently actually. But this is my full build right here. And hope you guys enjoy this one. Try it out. I mean, because it might get nerfed. Who knows? All right, next up, we're taking a look here at another great meta SMG, aka the UMP or the Striker, the regular Striker. Now, the Striker 9, the Striker. This is the premier version of the Striker you guys need to be using. The Striker 9 is not really all that great. It's all right for ground loot, but not for a loadout gun. So first attachment here is the Shadow Strike Suppressor. All this does is keeps us off the radar. You guys don't necessarily have to run in a silencer, but if you would like to, this is a great attachment and a great way to run this gun in particular. This is one of my favorite builds for it here. That's why I'm showing it to you, and it's also really good. So the Shadow Strike Suppressor is our first attachment. Now we're gonna skip on down here. We're gonna go over the barrel down to the underbarrel, and we're gonna go for the FTAC MSP-98 hand stop. So what this does, it helps with our vertical recoil and our gun kick control, but it also bolsters our movement speed or aim walking speed. So in comparison to the WSP Swarm, while this thing may not have as fast of a fire rate, you're also going to be moving a whole lot faster. You just have a lot more mobility, and I really like that. I mean, I'm a sucker for like great mobility SMGs because I like being able to bob and weave around and stuff like that because I'm playing solo quads. So this is one of those guns where I feel like I can really do that, and I absolutely love it. So I really like running this attachment. Now we're going down here. We're on the 48 round mag, so you guys could go for the 48. You could go for the 60, though the 60 is not nearly as popular. I feel like it slows you down maybe a little bit too much, though I don't have as much extensive testing with that. I just been sticking to the 48 because this is not like, you know, a super high fire rate gun. So 48 feels like it's more than enough to be able to take out at least a few people, which I think is great before I have to go reload. And I always have sleight of hand and stuff on my loadouts. Now we're gonna go up in here, throw on the MK3 reflector, which you guys could switch out for the Night Armor model if you guys really want to go that route. This is just one of those guns where I can probably switch back and forth between the two. It's not really gonna matter, though I do say I like the blue dot capabilities of the MK3 reflector because we don't really have any guns or skins and stuff in this game. We don't really have the ability to switch out our reticles that much unless it comes to an actual skin from the shop. And we don't really have any of that for these guns right here, or at least nothing that I bought personally. So, and I'm assuming not a lot of you guys out there are buying tons of bundles either. So we're gonna go for pretty much either of these two and pretty much call it a day at that. And lastly, we're gonna go throw on the Lockman MK2 light stock. And this is gonna really help us out that movement speed and sprint speed. So I've seen a lot of people, like in myself included, run this one, the RB cordless assault stock, which is a great attachment as well. It does help you out, but I also really like this one. So if you want to switch back and forth between these two, you really can't go wrong. But for this specific build, I really enjoyed running this one right here. So this is my full build right here. Try this one out. It is an absolute certified banger. And for my last gun here today, I want to give you guys something that's absolutely just certified broken, because we had a banger. Now we're going to go for something that's just pretty broken, that's going to get nerfed at some point. That's the MTZ Interceptor. Actually, probably coming up here this week, it will get touched. So, I mean, granted, will it get nerfed into the ground, not usable? Probably not. It always takes like 7 patches for something to be, you know, nerfed. But the setup right here is going to go as follows. So VT7 Spiritfire Suppressor, you guys know what this does. I don't really got to explain it, so we got that on there. We're gonna go up in here, throw on the MTZ Blackthorn barrel, just really helping us out that bullet velocity and range and our aiming idle sway. Helps make you more effective at those longer ranges because this is basically a 3-shot kill. And I'll tell you what, you know, every single time you're getting hit by an MTZ because you just hear the doom, 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 and you're dead. So it's just too good. Now we're going down and throwing the 7.62 times 51 millimeter high grain rounds. This further increases your bullet velocity and damage range, which is nuts. So you guys are going to be going absolutely crazy. And this thing has a 1300 meter per second bullet velocity. The Ram 7 had like a 978, and this thing has a 1300. So you're going to be hitting shots even faster. That your bullets going to be going pretty fast. So really like that. But this is just overall a great attachment. You combine this with the full setup. Now we're gonna go down, throw on the 20 round mag, which is kind of a necessary thing because it's only gonna have like 10 rounds stock. So definitely need that 20, especially if you're playing, you know, trios and quads. Even then on solos, still should run that 20. It doesn't really matter. Always go for it. And lastly, we're gonna throw on the tried and true Corio Eagle Eye 2.5x optic. So this is my optic of choice. I think it works great for any and all situations. Doesn't matter if you're playing big map, playing Vondel, super small map Ashiko, or coming up here to 2024 and, you know, this, you know, coming year here with, you know, Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, because those are coming back. But I'm talking about 2024 as if it's not here already. Anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. This will work great for any and all situations. But this is my full build right here. If you guys enjoyed this top 5, hit a like, subscribe, check out this other video on screen. I'll see you guys all next time.